Finally, at long last, Bob plus Jeremy was completed yesterday at 11:41 p.m. That late, huh? We gotta remember that it's hard to work during hot weather, so I waited until nighttime to add the climax. And I was just really tired and exhausted, and I'm like, oh no, I need to post it! And so I posted it at 11:41 p.m. yesterday. Yeah, I'm with you, Bob. I'm tired too. Imagine that. What do you say, Bob? You want to do some running? Let's go. Of course, I have to play as Bob. So, how does Bob plus Jeremy start? Well, it has a prologue. It starts off with these two cave explorer minions, Daryl and Luciano, digging in a cave and finding the fossil remains of a Dimorphodon. Actually, it's a complete fossil. They show it to the archaeologist minion, and he says, we should show this to the scientist. And apparently he had like a book on fossils. So aside the prologue, the way it starts is kind of similar to Rigby's graduation day. You have like this flower that's off in the wind, and it kind of travels from character to character. Hold on, let me get something to drink. There are really cute brotherly moments with Kevin and Bob. It's just really wholesome and sweet. I liked writing that. So when the sun sets, the minions head inside Gru's house and they nestle in their sleeping pods. These sleeping pods are a wink and a nod at the Spook Movie 3. Because we know that the minions had sleeping pods in that movie. That Kevin reads Bob a bedtime story, all while Bob is enjoying some delicious cookies that Kevin baked for him. Just as Kevin was getting to the intense part of the story, Dell, a hybrid minion, basically the yellow minion mixed with a purple hybrid evil minion, tells Kevin that he's needed in the lab. Yeah, you guys remember Dell, right? Yeah, he's that minion that's a hybrid with an evil minion. Yeah, it turned out he was a pretty big deal in this. The Dell tells that there's gonna be food and drinks in the lab, which gets Stuart's attention, so yes, Stuart follows along, but not Bob. He has to wait for Kevin to return. So while the archaeologist minions and the cave explorer minions are in the lab, and the archaeologist leader's there too, Stuart's wondering where is the scientist, and it turns out that the archaeologist leader is actually the minion scientist. His name is Lennon. Lennon Williams. Oh, so it was Williams, huh? Yeah, Williams, you know, they distributed the Mortal Kombat games in the early days. Wait, that was called Williams, right? Williams Entertainment. Yeah, it was called Williams Entertainment. Yeah, I still kind of get creeped out by that, Williams Entertainment logo, and then you got Midway that's underneath it. The particular Midway's history has the PlayStation logo blaring in the background. And I feel like this one is, I guess it's necessary. What does it sound like? This. That comes on Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Yeah, that's from Mortal Kombat Trilogy. It seems to be void of Avalanche software. The less we talk about that logo, the better. Because I'm still kind of terrified of it. Okay, what was I talking about? Yeah, Lennon Williams is the name of the minion scientist. He's named Lennon after John Lennon, basically because I like to hear the song like, "So this is Christmas, what have you done?" I can't really sing the song because I'm very tired. And then you got Beautiful Boy as well, so I'm like, you know what? I should name this minion scientist Lennon, but his last name to be Williams. And if you're wondering, no, it is not a reference to Nina Williams from Tekken. The basis to why Lennon calls in Kevin is he needs him to accompany him on a quest to the prehistoric era to gather bananas in the banana trees. He wants to gather bananas so he can replicate the taste of them so the minions of this generation can enjoy them. It's so nonsensical and dumb that it's just perfect for a Minions plot. I feel like it's hilarious, and I'm like, yeah, that works. Stuart actually guzzles down the pink surprise, which is basically the pink lemonade that we saw from the Tasty Travels ads. Yeah, it made its way into the story. And then there's this funny scene where Kevin mistakes a potion for the pink surprise, and it turns into this muscular dude that's still a minion, but wears a suit and tie, and has a hankering for croissants. It's so stupid and dumb that it's just hilarious. I actually laughed when I wrote that. It was like, okay, that's funny. Good thing Lennon had like a way to change Kevin back with a hypothermic needle. You know, basically a shot that you put in the arm. You know me. I'm not a fan of needles. I don't like shots. Because they hurt so bad. I think the flu shots are probably the worst offender. Yeah. So, Lennon says that he needs the Dimorphodon in order to have a way to get to the past. You need a relic from the past in order for the portal to work. So the Dimorphodon is resurrected with frozen meat. Just go with it. It's a Minions plot. And electrocuted with jump cables, giving it life. Well, Lennon does pour some liquid in a beaker, giving it its signature colors, the teal color. So he pours it onto the fossil and gives life to Fang Face. Yes, that's the name of the dinosaur. Its name is Fang Face. Its gender was never revealed, so it's going to be referred to as an it. So yeah, with the Dimorphodon resurrected, Fang Face resurrected, the portal works, and Lennon takes the minions into the portal with him to the prehistoric era, where the all-natural minions roamed. While this is going on, Bob has been waiting in his sleeping pod for Kevin to return, but Kevin doesn't come back. So he gets worried and he wanders into the lab. So there's two stuff going on. The minions in the prehistoric era watching all this stuff happen, all while trying to get the bananas, and Bob messing with the time machine, which made the portals, and adding in coordinates to a place to where there's trees, bushes, green landscape, and cute animals. I want to bring up the prehistoric scene because I really wanted this to really happen, so I wrote it down. Okay, so you know how Daryl and Luciano are the cave explorer minions? Well, we actually see them in the past in the all-natural form with the bananas. Yeah, do you remember that scene in Minions where the two minions were like, "Oh, Luca, su banano! Oh, mova! Ah! See a banana! Yum, yum!" Yeah, that was actually Daryl and Luciano in the unnatural form. They see themselves in the past, and it's pretty hilarious. What a twist! Yeah, you guys weren't expecting that now, were ya? Hehehe. Anyway, Bob awakens Fangface, and Fangface is hungry and sees Bob's food. It chases him around, and Bob is incredibly scared. The portal opens with the coordinates that he added. He did drop his teddy bear while being chased by Fangface, and he's too scared to even go reach for it because the dinosaur is right there, flying towards him. So he jumps into the portal and narrowly escapes being bitten by the monster. But when Lennon and the others return, they see that the machine has been tampered with, and Fangface is nowhere to be seen. It's not on the watch glass anymore. Kevin sees Bob's teddy bear Tim on the floor and starts to put two and two together. He's actually horrified, and when Lennon sees the monstrous Dimorphodon Fangface, it engages in attack. It actually bites on Lennon's arm and actually acquires the taste of minion. So now, this dinosaur is hellbent on wanting to eat Bob, considering that was the first thing that it saw. It flies through the portal. Kevin's angry that he couldn't do anything to stop the Dimorphodon, and so he has to jump into the portal to go after it and rescue Bob from being eaten. Stuart joins in along with Dell, so he's not alone. Lennon stays behind to maintain the machine. Bob ends up in the regular show world. Basically, he's in the grass field. It's all dark and everything. He's scared, and he's too tired to really explore. So he falls asleep on something that he thinks is a pillow, but it's actually very feathery. Well, at that time, the monstrous Dimorphodon Fangface is watching from a skyscraper and it's disguised as a stone statue. But Kevin and the others don't end up in the grass field. They actually end up in a canyon. And this is the same canyon that's from the regular show episode Busted Cart. So yeah, Bob's in the grass field while Kevin and the others are in the canyon. When Bob wakes up, he sees the sun rising, and then when he stretches to wake up, he feels a beak, and he's like, when do pillows have beaks? And it turns out it's actually a sleeping bird that Bob wakes up. And the bird turns out to be Jeremy. He doesn't know who Bob is. He thinks he's just a kid in a costume. And while acting snobby and unenthusiastic, Bob is just terrified because Jeremy looks very similar to a monster in a book that Kevin read to him very recently. The book that Kevin read to Bob was called A Knight's Bravery, and the name of the monster was... Okay, it's actually a cockatrice, but Kevin didn't want to call him that, so he referred to it as a cawdoodle. It sounded minionese for something, so I went with cawdoodle. So yeah, Bob thinks that Jeremy's a monster, gets away from him, he's scared. Jeremy doesn't know what to think of this, and then Bob gets hungry, he sees an apple, he tries to reach for it, he's unable to, and Jeremy just punches the tree and the apples fall down. And he takes pity on Bob and actually gives him a bigger piece of the apple, and the two start to communicate and bond. It's actually really wholesome and really sweet. And I love that I gave them nicknames because I thought they'd be sweet. Jeremy... Jeremy refers to Bob as Sweet Corn, and Bob refers to Jeremy as, well, Birdie. Speaking of Kevin, he's still basically scouring the canyon looking for Bob, while Del jokes with Stuart about a cactus having water. It's hilarious, and the payoff is actually really hilarious. While they're walking, they come across a bar in the literal canyon, and it's kind of so weird that you just have to go with it. Like, how is there a bar in a canyon? This is regular show. Anything can happen. So yeah, the minions infiltrate the bar, and, they actually visit the bar. They don't infiltrate. Stuart tries to blend in, seeing the cowboys, and he just pretends to be a cowboy like how Emmett did in the Lego movies. Like, hey, look at me, I'm a cowboy! Bang, bang, gully, bully, gun. You know, something like that. That didn't really work with the cowboys. But there's like a hillbilly that notices Kevin's distraught face and, tells the cowboys not to attack the minions. There's something really familiar about this hillbilly that I don't want to spoil it right away. He's at the bar because he's trying to get back a horse that was stolen from him from a ranch. This horse serves as a prize to be won when riding a mechanical bull ride. This mechanical bull ride is said to be the most fierce, most toughest ride out there, and no one has succeeded. He tried to, but was unsuccessful and led to a back injury. After hearing this, Kevin knew that he needed to get the horse. He wanted to win the horse back for the guy. And while Stuart failed miserably, he falls flat on his face and spits out a tooth, leaving a gap in there. Ah, that sounds familiar. Doesn't that sound similar to Dick? To be fair, it shows how Stuart got the gap in his teeth. So it wasn't just there to pay homage to Dick or Richard or whatever you want to call him. So yeah, Kevin wins at the mechanical bull ride and gets the horse back, naming it Tapioca. But the hillbilly says that you need the horse more than anything, since Kevin did tell the hillbilly that he was looking for his baby brother Bob, and the horse was needed as transportation. So yeah, the horse sets off towards the city to look for Bob. While that's going on, Bob and Jeremy go downtown, and Jeremy takes Bob to his favorite childhood place, Playland Pizza. Now, here's some interesting history about this place. Not only is this place being owned by Jeremy's college buddy Laurel, who's a magpie, a Eurasian magpie, but this place was basically a place that was around for a long, long time. And after the closure of Fun Zone, they basically bought the liquidated assets and took whatever they could from the dying company. Fun Zone. Doesn't that sound familiar? Yeah, that's from the episode Fuzzy Dice from Regular Show. You name it. They got an animatronic band, they got arcades, they got like a play place. There's no Capicola gang, but the animatronics are basically random. You got a goose animatronic, you got a polar bear animatronic, you got a prairie dog animatronic, and you got a teal dragon animatronic as well. The funny thing about this place is Jeremy hasn't been there in years, and he's kind of surprised with the transformation and renovations that were added to the place. Because when you visit something, you'd be surprised with how much has changed, because nothing stays the same. Innovation is needed to help to innovate a place. Now this part is actually really what can I say about the scene? I really like this scene. The scene has Bob enter the play place, having the time of his life, having a great time. This happens after Laurel, which is the name of Jeremy's college buddy, gives a tour showing them all that's changed and what stayed the same. Bob goes to the playground to have some fun, indoor jungle gym, and Jeremy just watches him. Bob encourages Jeremy to have fun as well. Well, Jeremy's hesitant at first. He does kind of let down his cool or drop the snobby, unenthusiastic personality for a bit and have fun. It's a place to have fun, and while he didn't enjoy it at first, he slowly but started to show that he was actually having a good time, reminding himself of what it felt like to be a kid, finding the inner kid inside. All while Fontaine's DC, It's Amazing to Be Young is blaring in the background, because of course you need a needle drop. It's a regular show type of fan fiction as well. And I felt like this scene was so perfect. I'm like, the singer sounds like Jeremy, so it made sense for the scene. I'm like, yes. Yes, I'm going to be doing that. Originally, Dire Straits' Walk of Life was going to be the pick, but I was like, nah, it doesn't really suit the scene that well. So yeah, Jeremy has fun. There's a lot of references in the play place. Jeremy reads to Bob a book that he used to read a lot in the Bookworm Corner, and this pays homage to Cockadoodle Dudley, which is a book that I rented from the county library back in Marina when it was a thing. It's not around anymore, but I remember that book. So yeah, after playtime, Bob and Jeremy enjoy pizza and ice cream. Bob tells Jeremy about the adventures he's had with Kevin and Stuart, basically the trip to England while trying to find a new boss, all that stuff. He's basically talking about the first Minions movie to Jeremy. All at the time, there's also a scene that I really wanted to be in the first Minions movie that implemented its way into there. So yeah, Laurel hears the story, and actually, okay, to be fair, Bob and Jeremy were having pizza and french fries at first, but after Laurel hears the story, he gives Bob and Jeremy a free sundae. And yes, this sundae pays homage to Tasty Travels as well. But the only difference is the ice cream is not like the one in Tasty Travels. It's basically birthday cake mixed with circus animal cookie. It's a combination I got from Rite Aid. And it made its way into the fan fiction. The weird thing is, the animatronic turned out to actually be Fangface. It was just posing as an animatronic. But the twist is, there actually is a teal-colored dragon animatronic. It was just put aside and just left the place when Bob and Jeremy decided to leave. Oh, I'm sorry! Bob and Jeremy left after Jeremy got a call from Chad asking where he was and got suspicious when he heard Bob on the other end. So yeah, Bob and Jeremy leave Playland Pizza and Fangface goes after them. While still in the canyon, trudging along, the minions finally find a road, and Tapioca trots along, jumping on cars, adding dents to them. One driver asks, "Hey, keep your horse off the road," to Kevin. Kevin explains that he's looking for his baby brother, Bob, and the driver points to, like, a ramp that led to the city. This then leads to Bob and Jeremy going to a convenience store called Circuit Outlet to get a drink. Because Jeremy thinks that Bob isn't really hydrated because Bob did drink from a sippy cup. And he didn't think it was enough. I mean, seriously, sippy cups. It was basically kids' drink. So yeah, he took him to the convenience store, Circuit Outlet, which is basically paying homage to Circle K in Circuit City. This convenience store sells electronics, so that's the dragon. And the convenience store sees Bob thirsty, and he goes for Fresco Freeze. If you know what Fresco Freeze is, it's actually two references. It's basically it pays homage to the Cool Cubed from Regular Show and Polar Pop from Circle K. It's said to be the most coldest beverage ever, and whoever can drink it will get free food and drinks for eternity, well, for life, basically. Yeah, Bob tries the drink, and so does Jeremy. But Jeremy is kind of hit with brain freeze, and so he retreats, leaving it up to Bob, as this is basically a tag team effort. But the thing is, when Bob starts to drink it, he starts to feel pain. He starts to feel brain freeze. It's like his minion resilience isn't kicking in. But seeing that he didn't want to fail Jeremy, he guzzles it down, but feels the aftermath of the brain freeze. He collapses, but wakes up when he feels like a wet paper towel on his forehead. A hot water paper towel trying to cool him down from the freeze. So yeah, he and Jeremy were successful at the Fresco Freeze thing. Even though Bob fainted, it still counted as a win because he drank that down, threw the cup down, roared, like the tiger roar he did in Rise of Gru, and then collapsed, but he still won. Now, this scene, I was thinking whether or not to put it in or not, but it's actually kind of tragic. Bob and Jeremy are heading to the grass field, and Bob sees that his pet rat Poochie is there, and he introduces him to Jeremy. He says to Jeremy that it's a friend that he met in the sewers. And Jeremy is disgusted by this. Like Bob literally said it's from the sewers. How are you supposed to react? How does Jeremy react? He swats the rat from Bob's hand, and Bob is kind of distraught and confused to why Jeremy would do this. Then an owl swoops down and attacks Poochie. And this is really sad because Jeremy just stands there unsure whether or not to intervene or just to see the owl eat its meal. Bob shoos the owl away, but it's already too late as Poochie has died, succumbing to the injuries from the owl's pecks, from the beak and the claws on its feet. Bob is incredibly sad that his friend died, and so he buried him next to a tree. He's upset at Jeremy, and here's the thing. When Jeremy sees Bob writing something down on the rock, which basically serves as Poochie's tombstone, he sees that this is basically the friend that he made in England. Bob had mentioned earlier that he made a little friend in England, and Jeremy put two and two together. And he is horrified that that Poochie was actually the friend Bob made, and he feels guilty. It's actually really, really sad. Bob sees Jeremy actually crying, and then he asks him, "You didn't do it on purpose, did you?" And he sees that Jeremy's act wasn't malicious, and so he forgives him. Well, after accepting the apology, that's when Kevin and the others show up. But something is different. When Kevin sees Bob, he sees Bob as incredibly different. You see, while Bob was drinking the Fresco Freeze, his body started to change. He became a lot more plump. His green eyes started to turn light. Something was going on. And he was kind of suspicious of Jeremy, who he thought was a coddoodle. And after hearing that Poochie died, he immediately blamed Jeremy for the death. Well, technically it was Jeremy's fault as he didn't intervene, but he wasn't the one that killed Poochie. So Kevin did what he did to Otto in Rising. He grabbed Jeremy by his hoodie collar and shook him violently, yelling at his face, all while Jeremy's terrified. Chad doesn't know how to intervene with this because he doesn't know how to deal with pill-shaped minions. And Bob tells Kevin to not hurt Jeremy, and Kevin's confused by this, like, "Bob, what's come over you?" And then Bob's like, "I don't want to see violence." And then Kevin realizes that Bob has been with Jeremy the whole day, and Jeremy didn't serve as a threat. Speaking of Chad, okay, when Chad enters the picture, it's actually kind of weird because it's at the same time the minions show up. Like, he's kind of confused as to why Jeremy has a kid with him, and then he doesn't know how to react when Jeremy's being shook by Kevin. It's funny. And then Fangface swoops down, flying down like the resurrected Aerodactyl from Pokemon Heroes, and grabs Bob with its talons. And Kevin tries to stop the monster, but the monster has Bob pinned down and is going to, bite him, kind of like how Aerodactyl almost did to Ash in Attack of the Prehistoric Pokemon, that Pokemon episode. So yeah, Kevin throws a rock at the monster, trying to gain its attention, and you know what's really scary? The monster actually chases after Kevin and swallows him. Wasn't a hard pill to swallow, but it swallows Kevin and then starts to absorb the minion resilience from the minion's body. And not wanting to see Bob lose another friend, Jeremy angrily runs towards the monster and starts to fight with it. Del tells Bob that there's only one way to stop the monster. It's to reverse the polarity and inject it with the hypothermic needle. Bob grabs it, and then Jeremy is able to fend off the monster and kicking it in the stomach, causing it to cough out Kevin. So Jeremy basically saved Kevin's life. And just when you think that Jeremy's going to save the day, Fangface actually swings its tail at Jeremy and slams him against a tree, breaking his arm in the process. So Jeremy's basically injured. And Fangface flies towards Bob, and it's like it wants to devour Bob. Like, it's hell-bent on wanting to eat him. And here's where it gets really, 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 really scary. The monster bites down on Bob. Nothing is, shown except its mouth. Like, Bob's body is covered up by the mouth. And everyone thinks that Bob is eaten. It's a really shocking and terrifying scene. You got this monster that's salivating at the mouth with sharp teeth, and then it lunges down to swallow Bob. Bob is literally covered up by the monster's mouth. But the thing is, the monster is actually hurt by something. And you know what that is? Bob actually injected the needle into the monster's throat, and it caused it to deteriorate and turn back into a fossil. So yeah, the monster's defeated. So the monster's gone, and everybody heads home, all except Bob, because he wants to say goodbye to Jeremy. Kevin thanks Jeremy for saving his life, and Tapioca returns home to his owner, trotting back to the canyon to go back to the ranch where the hillbilly's waiting. And while Kevin goes through the portal, Bob looks at Jeremy and Chad one last time, and then jumps into the portal, taking him back home. And that's the end of Bob plus Jeremy. And I have to say, this is probably one of the best fan fictions I've ever written. Because there's like legit threat. There's like a legit monster hellbent on wanting to eat Bob. And the fact that it stalks him is even scarier. But yeah, I do like how Bob plus Jeremy turned out. I just needed to rest, I was really, really exhausted. There's a placeholder of Bob plus Jeremy. It's the drawing I did back in 2025. So until I draw a new cover, that's what's going to be there. But yeah, Bob plus Jeremy is finally done. I finished it yesterday at 11:41 p.m. and I am grateful with the results. I am actually really, really tired. Sorry, Bob. Make it to 100. I had to write the climax last night. Because it's hard to work in hot weather, so I had to wait until nighttime to write the climax. So Bob plus Jeremy is 100% done now. Well, yesterday. Yeah, the thing with yesterday is before I started writing Bob plus Jeremy, I got 2 shinies in Pokemon Go. A shiny Smoliv and a shiny costume Squirtle. So yeah, I was being awarded since I was almost done with Bob plus Jeremy. I got my award early. Oh yeah, we also got a resume for Ed the Minion as well. The only person that needs one now is that Minion Dick. He doesn't have one yet. Is he ever gonna get one? Who knows? Now that Bob plus Jeremy is finally done, I can finally see minions and monsters! I need to rest. I'm pretty sure Bob needs to rest too. After this, I'm gonna go head off to bed. I'm exhausted. Walk it off, Bob. Hey, we're almost to 100. That's good. Yeah, I need to sleep. Yeah, I'm tired too, Bob. I'm just excited I finally got Bob plus Jeremy done yesterday. It's a really good fan fiction. You guys are gonna love it. It's the perfect amount of suspense and heart. Well, that's the end of the stream. Thank you guys for watching, and laters. I'm heading off to bed now.